It's April 25, 2025, our meditation text, and taken from the Gospel according to St. John. Well, this text speaks to us because of Tiberias. Time to read this text and then come back to us for meditation and sharing. The manifestation of Jesus to his disciples is the third in the Gospel of St. John. Makes 19 to 25. After her appearance to Mary Magdalene. Closed house. But Thomas was absent. And disciple. Well, Jesus appears before his disciples. Before the Gospel of John chapter 20 verse 26. Verses 1 to 14. Taken their previous occupation. That according to their expectations. Fish height. And Jesus here below and like a parenthesis of their existence. We can read this in Matthew chapter 4 verse 22 and in chapter 1 verse 16 to 20. Read verse 2. Weaver of this circumstance where the Lord manifests himself to the disciples at the edge of the lake. By the sea. Like a Luke chapter 5. Catch 2 fish. The intervention of Jesus when I once again spread the net. France of Jesus resurrected with disciples the fishermen. Seduce with promised blessings and the many related prophecies, it will be necessary to cast the net of the gospel and the kingdom into the sea of the people. Put on unity in the testimony of Jesus. Hence in all our undertakings all that we are led to do we must involve Chris. Who contrasts? Since chapter 5 is verse 4 to 11 where the nets will be paid when the boat is sunk. Comes similar here in this chapter 21 of the Gospel of St. John. The 5 is the present fishing in John chapter 21. Nothing to do with the power of the Lord, my children, but in relation to man in the flesh. For him to benefit, it was necessary for Christ to accomplish the work of redemption in which the responsible man found his goal. Put acquired results for the glory of the Lord and for the blessing of the world. 2 and the prophecy in Isaiah chapter 60 verse 5. So when Peter recognizes the Lord, he throws himself at his feet like a poor sinner, saying to him. However, in this story, that is to say the story of the people in chapter 21. It is one stone repenting after having denied the Lord who launches himself before the Lord by throwing himself into the water. The Lord is the resource for everyone. And it is he alone who restores. In this text, the fish on the embers represents the Jewish remnant who through the fire of trial in the great tribulation before the nations and received the gospel of the kingdom. Therefore the fish on the embers represent. And the disciples coming to dinner shows the enjoyment he will have with his own in the blessing established on the earth for the millennium. And that's how at the school of the disciples of Christ, we learn we must deepen what we have done together by having a more intimate personal meditation. Thank you for following us. Continue to be with us. Subscribe.